He's one of Africa's most powerful media barons and holds sway over minds of millions of Africans. This is the amazing story of Reginald Mengi and how he made his fortune. As a child, Mengi learnt a lot from his poor entrepreneur mother who would exchange goods for goods. You can call it barter trade. One chicken in exchange for a uniform. Mrs. Mengi may have been a role model to his son, but their family fortune was worth a mad hat with 2 cows, 3 sheep and a few chickens, and they couldn't even make ends meet. However, Mengi wanted more for himself and he took a long shot. He was in Form 5 when he decided to apply for a scholarship to study accounting in Scotland. Now, let's put a pause right there and take a minute to appreciate this man's courage and ambition. Because applying for a scholarship at that time from a boy from a poor village in Tanzania was unheard of, uncommon even. And to his surprise, the scholarship was granted. He couldn't tell his headmaster, of course, I've won a scholarship, I'm going, da. So he just ran away from school, and his friends and family told him not to go, but rather to stay with them in Tanzania. But the young man had made up his mind, and luckily, the scholarship came with an air ticket. So off he went, and to his surprise, the streets of the United Kingdom were not, and I repeat, were not covered in gold, like he was meant to believe while growing up. But he was very much impressed by the warmth of the people. And as his studies went on in Scotland, Mengi suddenly had a change of heart, and he didn't continue studying accounting. So he just wasn't feeling it. And he made sure to tell his sponsors, and what do you know? It was met with a lot of backlash, like, Mengi, really? After everything we've done for you, you want to ditch us? Anyway, bottom line, they just told him he needed to stay in Scotland for 6 months and study, whether he liked it or not. They could care less, really. So Mengi decided to abandon the cause to the disappointment of his sponsors. But he managed to stay in Scotland by taking on low-paying jobs like driving the bus, working long hours as a cleaner, and he eventually enrolled in night school to complete his high school studies he had left behind in Tanzania. Mengi never refused any job because it was too dirty or the money was too little. And it was that very philosophy that helped him to trickle down some pounds. And he eventually finished school and he got a job in Cooper Brothers. Now it's known as PricewaterhouseCoopers, PwC. I'm sure you've heard of it. He swiftly rose up the ranks of the company, and he even became a member of the Institute of the Chartered Accountants in England and Wales. So it's fair to say that the passion of accounting finally caught up to him. Although Mengi was making it in Scotland, he really yearned for home. And after 9 years, he transferred to the company's Nairobi office, located in Kenya, a neighboring country to Tanzania, literally just a throne's stone away. However, when he got there, he said, I don't think I'm meant to be here. This is definitely a mistake. And he resigned a few hours after reporting for work. Okay, only God knows what got into him. Surely, this is one of the shortest careers at PwC. Who resigns in hours? Amazing. The call to his home country, Tanzania, had proven stronger. Not many people can do this, This is patriotism of the highest order. I can't even comprehend this. Mengi wanted to be in Tanzania, and he knew he could make more money in Britain, but he wanted to go home. He wanted to go home and do something for his people. And in his own words, Mengi said he was educated by poor Tanzanians, and he thought it would be wise to give back to them. And with his overseas experience, wait for it, Mengi spent a whole year jobless. until he secured a job with his old firm PwC in Dar es Salaam. They must have really liked this guy a lot to, hire him back after resigning in hours. And so he worked hard, and at the age of 30, he became one of the youngest partners in the company. And at the height of his career at PwC, he was both the chairman and the managing partner. He was living the life, I'm telling you. But guess what? He resigned. He literally resigned, and this time it was for good. Some people leave their jobs when times are bad, but Mengi just wasn't feeling it. He left when things were really good. He couldn't wait around for things to go bad and then leave. I mean, you must change when things are really good, and then you go into the new job with a new kind of energy. So Mengi yearned to break into the big business, but he was smart enough to know that he needed to start small. And one day, he was out in the streets of Tanzania looking for a pen. And he couldn't even believe it when he did find one, after spending a whole day searching for it. And alas, an idea popped into his head. What if I start importing pens? I mean, surely people use pens. They need pens because they work in offices. This business should be legit. So he decided to venture into importing pens. And he did this by importing them from the neighboring country, Kenya. However, when the pens arrived, he didn't know where to put them. So the best place was in the bedroom, of course. And it was in that bedroom that he started to do the assembly of pens. Scrambling on his bedroom floor to put pens together was indeed a huge step down from the big office at PwC and the luxuries, the company car. It was really a downgrade. These were indeed hard times for Mengi. He worked 16 hours a day and made deliveries on foot. But that business, it gave him his first $1 million. Mengi was on fire, selling pens here and there. Anything else he could get his hands on, he sold. This guy sold shoe polish, oil, beauty products, soap, toilet paper, and so many other things. The only thing he could not sell was air. But eventually he did, but in form of airwaves. He spent millions trying to build his empire because he believed written and spoken word yielded great influence, and so he incorporated a media group called IPP. And in 1994, he bought The Guardian in Tanzania. And a year before he even got his feet wet into the industry, he launched Tanzania's first television network, ITV. And nearly a quarter of a century later, Mengi owned a string of other newspapers, 3 radio stations, and 3 television networks, with more than 1,000 people working for him. Wow. This is coming from a guy who was born in a mud hut. Mengi seemed to have picked up the media business quickly, conceding that the only time he gets worried is when politicians praise him, because he believes if a politician praises you, then it means there's something definitely wrong with the way you're doing your business. Mengi also believed in free speech, and he was aware that there are limitations in Africa. But if you are an African journalist and you don't see the beauty of Africa, then you are irresponsible. And I second him on that, because you just become biased and just tell a one-sided story. He also believed we as Africans sell ourselves short and too cheaply. I repeat, too cheaply. When we encounter foreign investors and talk of, for example, a gold mine, we think the deal is $1 million and they believe it is $100 million. And they eventually capitalize on our ignorance. So as Africans, we need to be alert and be aware of the value of our businesses. The year 2019 was indeed a very, very sad year for the family of Mr. Mengi, because he passed away at the age of 75 years of age while on a visit to Dubai. However, the cause of death is still unknown to this very day. But if there's anything we can take away from Mr. Mengi, is never to give up. It doesn't matter if you're earning millions at your job, but if you have a passion for doing something that will benefit your community, I urge you to do it, because we only live one life and only God knows what the future holds for us tomorrow. And if you have found this video very entertaining and informative, please do share it with your friends. By doing that, you're helping me to reach more people and helping this channel to grow. And also, please subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell to get notified when videos like this are uploaded onto this channel. And I'll see you next time. Bye.